So we're going to go through a Qigong move as always in this Pilates Qigong mix. Obviously just taking the movement from Qigong, it's called opening the fan. Tesans in Japanese, tesan or fans, whatever you want to call them, were used in like the Song dynasty in 960 to 1279 BC. They used like even weapons, etc. But again, just going into the name a little bit there. So the movement is, there's a little bit of turning, which obviously in Qigong is believed to massage the internal organs and the governing vessel and the conception vessel running up the spine. With the Qigong, it's generally breathing to belly like a balloon, but because we're just taking a movement from a Qigong move and putting a Pilates setup with it, so it's going to be the opposite, basically tucking in the belly button to get our core muscle. Again, so for that reason, I'm not going to the meridians and all the massaging organs, etc. Even though, you know, organs and cells will be benefited just by the fact that you're breathing. I'm going to go a lot deep on the breathing, very deep on the breathing, and just go into motion. Can you do the it's just motion at the end of the day. Obviously, I'll go more traditional on another video in a Qigong style with this. So we're just going to start with opening the fan. Going to zip up pelvic floor, scoop out your abdominals, you've got enough room here. And just simply breathing through the nose and exhale through pursed lips. So zip up pelvic floor, scoop out your abdominals, take your navels towards the spine, okay, and zip up pelvic floor. Okay, their muscles go together, you can't do one without the other. And while you're there, we're going to breathe in through the nose as you're doing that right now. And exhale through pursed lips. Let the shoulders down, just so they don't come up around our ears. Like I say, 90% of us are overactive in these upper traps, the way we live today. So just keep them shoulders down, let them down there, and that's where they stay. As we do this right now, we zip up pelvic floor and scoop out our abdominals. And just simply keep breathing through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips. So you're sort of blowing out a candle through pursed lips, and simply allow that simplicity just to relax our minds right now. As you zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals, keep breathing in through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips. So you're sort of blowing out a candle through pursed lips. Lovely. And as you're zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out your abdominals, taking the navel in towards the spine basically, zipping up, scooping out your abdominals, then muscles go together. You can't do one without the other. So if you did one, you've done them all. If you just do your pelvic floor or just tuck in your belly button to get your corset muscle, they go together anyway. Okay, so you can't do one without the other. But again, as we say it consciously, zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals, and just keep breathing in through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips. And naturally, that breath can't go anywhere apart from into these lower lobes of lungs, because right now as you zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals, the breath's got nowhere but them lower lobes of lungs to go, because as you zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals right now, and keep breathing in through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips, there's nowhere else the breath to go apart from into them lower lobes of lungs right now. Then fish gills, 3D style. Keep breathing in organ deep, cell deep, even bone marrow deep, and allow that simplicity to relax the mind. And while you're there, when you get these two middle fingers touching underneath the xiphoid process, the sternum, the breastbone, palms on the lower lobes of lungs, with your shoulders down, we're going to breathe in through the nose, whatever you like, and exhale through pursed lips. And if you can see my fingers, this is just showing you where the breath's going. My fingers are going like this, even if it's a millimetre or a centimetre, it doesn't matter. This is happening with them two middle fingers. They're underneath what you call the xiphoid process, the sternum. Okay, just underneath the sternum there, palms on lower lobes of lungs. Your shoulders are down. As you continue to do that, keep zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out your abdominals, breathing through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips. And you'll see my two middle fingers just moving like seaweed on the bottom of the seabed. Okay, just moving to the sides, even just a millimetre, it doesn't matter. That's happening anyway, we know that. But this is just showing you that's definitely happening. You'll feel that width happening in the lungs. Two middle fingers moving like seaweed on the bottom seabed to the sides and back. Just adding width to the lungs as you breathe in. And length the out breath as you exhale through pursed lips. Lovely. As though someone's opening an umbrella inside your rib cage and letting go, or someone's just pushing out from inside your ribs and letting go. That lovely, free, expansive breath. It's what we call lateral thoracic breathing in Pilates. Helps us use our pelvic floor and our corset muscle, our powerhouse, our girdle strength, 3 layers deep, by breathing into these lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but the stomach. Lovely. And that's going to help us use our transverse abdominis, our corset muscle, 3 layers deep right now. By helping us breathe right now as you do this, anywhere but our belly buttons. Just keep breathing in to them lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but our stomachs. Lovely. So someone's opening an umbrella inside your ribcage and letting go, or someone's just pushing out from inside your ribs and letting go. Just adding width to the lungs as you breathe in, and length of the out breath as you exhale through pursed lips. Even imagine someone's wrapped a scarf tightly around your ribs, and you breathe into that scarf wide and full. Lovely. Lateral thoracic breathing. And just to show us we're using that pelvic floor and our corset muscle 3 layers deep in towards the spine to protect our spine, while we're still zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out abdominals, we'll get these thumbs here on the hips. Okay, we're going to take these thumbs round to meet. So this is the B line, the bikini line, the belt line, whatever you want to call it. Okay, here, pelvic floor is lower, and again, the corset muscles higher. Linking on like cling film from this B line here, bikini line, belt line, whatever you want to call that. The corset is 3 layers deep, wrapping around your spine, pelvic floor is lower. Again, thumbs come round, here, B line, bikini line, belt line. And even as you're doing this, as you're zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out abdominals, a cough or a sneeze helps you. I'll just tuck my shirt in. So again, a cough or a sneeze. If you do that, that'll show you that the pelvic floor and the corset muscle are linked, just like cling film through this B line, bikini line, belt line. 3 layers deep, the corset here. The pelvic floor is lower. They meet in that B line. And you take them hands away as you breathe in through the nose still, and exhale through pursed lips. That exhale works like a cough or a sneeze. Helps you throw in that corset and zip up pelvic floor to scoop out to naturally stabilise our spine. Because sometimes it's a bit like an amnesia. If you don't know their muscles are there, we won't always use them in the correct fashion. We know they're there, we can use them in the correct fashion. Lovely. As you keep zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out abdominals, allowing that simplicity to relax the mind, and just keep breathing in through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips. You're sort of blowing out a candle through pursed lips. Lovely. Lateral thoracic breathing. So we'll link this to motion. So just stand in Shizen posture, natural posture. Make sure we've got enough movement. So from here, yeah. So you're going to take this a little bit that way. That's better. Yeah. Just get the idea. Yeah. So we're going to start here. So yeah, we come up here, and again we turn. Again, we come here, we come up and we turn, yeah? So let's do that all together. So from here, we're coming up here and we're turning. We're coming up and down, okay? We're coming up here and we're turning. Bit of a weird old motion. We're coming back and we're coming down. So let's, in a vinyasa, breath synchronized motion, link that to movement. Okay, vinyasas, Sanskrit for movement-based exercises. So again, from here, we're going to turn off this midline of the body, shoulders down, lengthen up for the crown. What? Hands in namaste, your yoga position. Again, we're breathing in, and it's up. Have a little turn, and we breathe in, come back. Watch these shoulders, they will try and come in. So shoulders down, lengthen up for the crown, and exhale, turn. Imagine there's a skewer through your head, you're turning off that skewer. Breathe in, find that corset, keep your spine neutral, don't let the tailbone tuck. So basically, don't let yourself hyperextend the back. Tuck under that tailbone, shoulders over hips, head over shoulders. Exhale, nice resonant exhale through pursed lips. And it's coming back. If you want to sort of do a little pivot on the feet here, you can do that. Turn your foot, shoulders down. Again, open out the chest, hands come back, stretch these finger flexors, and again you'll stretch these forearm flexors. So again, you've done a lot of work on computers or phones, etc. Let's get very tight. So exhale, open out the chest. That opens out all the organs in the chest, the heart, the lungs, the pericardium. Breathing in. Shoulders down, lengthen up for the crown. Breathing in. Really fire that exhale, that nice resonant exhale. Works like a cough or sneeze. Have something coming towards the spine. Breathe in, check them shoulders each time. Okay, you've got a mind of their own. Exhale, open out the chest. Okay, tuck under the tailbone, shoulders over hips, head over shoulders. Nice resonant. Exhale through pursed lips. Breathing in, coming back. And exhale, open out the chest, the pecs and all them organs in the chest, the heart, the lungs, the pericardium, the heart lining. Open it out like a book. Here. And again, just get a little turn in there. Just wringing out all the tension from the spine. Just naturally linking that breath to motion. Lengthen up for the crown, shoulders down. Lengthen up for your ears. Imagine that trickle of water just running down your back and dispersing as you're doing this. Exhale, so these shoulders don't come in. If you're not too sure, just let them up and then let them down. You know where they are then. Okay, it gets you firing that muscle memory to let you know where them muscles should be. Breathing in. Really fire that exhale. Hands come back. Yeah, and just find your speed. Again, any problems, you know, if you just miss that bit out, you've got trouble up here with the neck or anything, you could just exhale here, come back, exhale. You know, nothing's set in stone. It's just movement at the end of the day. Again, you can get caught up. It's meant to be this and this in this form, whatever. But again, you might be a little bit like that in the traditional forms. That's fine when we're doing that, etc. But this is just taking the movement and putting a Pilates setup with it. That's all you're doing there. And again, just getting that muscle memory of our transverse abdominis or corset muscle. Not always necessarily know all anatomy. If you're tucking your belly button, you can't go wrong. You zip up pelvic floor. The only way to explain your pelvic floor, below that B-line if you remember, is if you're on a long journey, you want to go to the toilet, you stop yourself going, that's your pelvic floor. Your corset muscle, 3 layers deep, is the transverse abdominis. So it does up all the way around here. The back bit's called the lumbar thoraciofascia, which has an extension force here. It's like the back of the corset nearly, but again, you don't have to know that. That's the deepest muscle, the 3rd layer deep. 2nd layer deep, you've got internal obliques, and from rib to hip, then you've got that 6-pack muscle, the aesthetic one on top. But just tuck that all in, okay? obviously in everyday life, you won't be throwing on that corset as much. But say you're going to go and pick up a box or something that's a little bit heavy, then you'll throw on that corset to support the spine. Again, you generally find about 30% of your maximum is the best sort of in everyday life really to engage that, unless you're going to lift something heavy, etc. But again, just lightly, when we're doing this, just you can overdo it, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't go around throwing that corset the whole time. You tuck it in every now and then. But again, I digress. Basically, take it into everyday life, whatever you're doing. Tuck that belly button in, and that'll engage that corset, that transverse abdominis. I've gone into the anatomy a bit because just knowing these muscles are there helps us use them in the correct fashion. It stops that amnesia, helps you fire them muscles in the correct fashion. Just knowing they're there will help you fire them in the correct fashion to support your spine. You've really put your back out, getting these corset muscles and these pelvic floor muscles going is a really good thing to do. So again, that's a bit of the Pilates mix, opening the fan from Qigong with that Pilates breathing. Bang.